All right, what's going on, guys? And today I thought it'd be fun to go over the entire Floatsorrolls collection. As you can see, we got quite a variety here, and some of which are pretty hard to get, but all of them are paid for. And our main focus when picking out most of these toys is reliability and bang for your buck. I think a lot of them meet that, and let's go ahead and get started. We got a 2009 Honda Civic Si, one of the only toys that we didn't buy new. I bought this from my aunt. She bought it new when she upgraded to a Type R. And this one's kind of a full NA build. And we've got the Inky RPF 1s with spacers that make it look really cool, and it's more set up for handling than speed. But it's a really cool car, and it's only got 40,000 miles. And for it to be over 10 years old, about 15 years old, it's a pretty sweet ride. And it handles like a little go-kart. All right, so some of the performance mods that we've got done to it. We've got the intake manifold that we ported to match the J37 throttle body. And then we have the hybrid racing cold air intake with the battery relocation kit and the Hasport motor mounts that really stiffens up the steering on the car. We also have the NVIDIA header and the full race exhaust. And it's actually not that loud, so it sounds pretty good. And overall, it just makes the car really fun to drive because it's like I said, it's just like a go-kart. All right, and then moving to the next vehicle on my side of the collection is the 2013 F-150. This is the 5-liter, just like Dad's new one. And when he bought that, the 2023 F-150 trimmer, I went ahead and bought this from him. And this has got 80,000 miles, so it's pristine. So it's a really cool truck, and I bought this because I needed it for work and to haul my toys around. And then about 10 years ago, we picked up these 2014 Yamaha Superjets, and this is what really started our collection. And they've taught us a lot for sure, because this is what got me into mechanics and working on them, because they've definitely gave us some issues over time. Mine really, because we've started modifying mine. And we liked it so much and made it so much more fun that we ended up doing it on his. But you can see, we got mine fully modded out. We started with the pipe, and that's what really wakes these things up. And then we got the head MSD ignition. We rejetted the carbs, and we got the flame arresters on the carburetors. And it's a completely different ski, but they're super fun, lightweight, and they're awesome for jumping, and they're super playful. And we liked them so much that we ended up picking up some new stand-up jet skis. But the 2014 Yamaha Superjets are probably hands down my favorite toy of the collection. Now moving on to our newer stand-up jet skis, we have the 2019 Kawasaki SXR 1500. And this thing is like the Busa on the water. It's super fun, but all it is just wants to go fast. It's super fun to race around, but it's not good for jumping waves. Pretty much all of them have the handling mods done to them. The SXR has the cold air intake, and that's probably as far as we're going to go with it. But I think it's perfect the way it sits, and it's super fun, and it's got the fastest takeoff, and this thing really yanks compared to the smaller ones that don't go that fast, because this one tops out around 60 miles an hour. All right, so now moving on to the 2023 Yamaha Superjet. This thing has 114 horsepower compared to the Kawasaki's 160. And though it's not as powerful, it's still really fun because it's more like the old Superjets, where it's got a lot of playfulness and can still jump waves. And we have the Riva Racing exhaust on it to give it a little bit more sound. But it's the newest addition to our collection, and I think it really completes it. I think pretty much all the toys we're really happy with, and this one's definitely here to stay. And then this is our newest toy hauler. It's the 2023 F-150 trimmer. I've got quite a few videos on it already. We really wanted to upgrade from the 2013 F-150 for reliability and for the bigger back seat, because when we were going on trips, it would we'd constantly fill the back seat up to the top because we bring too much stuff. But it's a super cool truck, and it's got a really neat sound to it. And I think overall it's got really good looks. It's the antimatter blue. So it looks black in a lot of the darker lighting, but when the light hits it, it really pops the blue sparkling finish on the paint. I think it looks really cool, but we're loving it so far. Then up next, we got the 2015 WRX. We picked this up from my grandpa. He bought it new. This basically just has the stage 1 Cobb intake and tuner, and it's a really fun handling car. It's got the Ultra Legaras OZ racing wheels, but the WRX has always been a good handling car, and it's really fun to drive. I drive it quite a bit. Dad doesn't drive it as much, but I love it. It's super fun. All right, now moving on to the bikes. We're gonna start with the 2021 Yamaha Tenere 700. This has the full Yoshi exhaust, the ECU flashed, and a DNA air filter. And we also have done the springs for the suspension for my dad's weight, front and rear. And this is probably my dad's favorite bike. It's super nice and is just a great cruiser bike. And we don't take it off-road, so we have the street tires on it. But it's a really cool bike and sounds awesome. Now moving to the 2016 FZ09. This is probably the most terrifying bike of the collection. This thing's super fast and torquey. This also has the full Yoshi exhaust, ECU flashed, and an aftermarket air filter. But yeah, this is probably the only bike in the collection that I'm terrified of, but it's super cool and sounds wicked. And then this is Dad's 2018 Thumper. This is the XR 650L, and then we got it in the Supermoto conversion. And we also have full pipe, rejetted the carb, and an intake on it. But this thing is super fun. It handles great with the Supermoto wheels and is the easiest bike to wheelie. Dad can really do good wheelies on it. All right, now moving to my fastest bike, the 2016 FZ07. We've got the full Akrapovic exhaust, ECU flashed, and the DNA air filter on this. And we upgraded the tires, and it's a super fun bike. It's great for riding 2-up and cruising around. And it's probably, well, and this is our favorite motor. So that's the part of the reason why we got the Tenere 700 is because we loved this motor so much. So it's a great all-around bike and it sounds awesome. And then here we got the 2019 CRF 450L. And this is probably my baddest bike. It's Supermoto conversion and it's pretty wicked. It's got the full Yoshi, it's got the aftermarket Vortex ECU and an air filter. And it's super fun at the tail. It's my favorite bike to take to the tail because it handles great and is super quick. But it's probably my overall favorite bike in terms of looks and handling. All right, now we got the 2022 Honda Navi. This bike has been through a lot. It's been attacked by a bear. And we've got just basically the man-in-the-box intake on it. I've cut off a lot of the stuff from the factory to make the bike a little bit lighter. And probably my favorite thing about the bike is the storage box. It's a lot easier to carry stuff around. But you can see it actually did get attacked by a bear. You can see the claw marks. These are actually claw marks, and a bear actually had bitten it in the front plastic here. It actually tried to take a bite out of it because when we went to the tail once, we put pizza in this box, and even though we took it out, the bear tried to get inside and attack it. So this bike has definitely got some history, even though it's not that old. But it's a pretty fun bike. But I would have to say it's not as cool as my 2023 Honda Grom. This is my newest bike of the collection. And this has got the ECU flash, full Yoshi exhaust, and the man-in-the-box intake. And we got tires. I've got a bunch of videos on all the stuff that we've done to this bike. But it's a super fun little bike to hop on and run around town. And I'm loving it so far. And actually is my girlfriend Jess's favorite bike to ride on the back of. And our final toys of the collection are our 2021 Yamaha Raptor 700s. I went with the SE and Dad went with the R. And they both have the best mod for them, which is the upgraded tires and the underbody protection. Those those two things are key for these types of quads. However, Dad's has the big 3, so it's a lot rowdier than mine, but I'm plenty happy with how mine's set up. I think it's got plenty of power from the factory, and they're both super fun and pretty rowdy, especially when you modify them out. But, well, that's it for our collection. There's a lot to it to keep it maintained. We got 44 tires and 13 oil changes. 2 of them, the 2 strokes we don't have to do oil changes in, but it's still a lot to maintain. But I love it, it's super fun, and I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you in the next one.